Well, hello and welcome back. Well, I'm making some more troughs here, and I was going to show you quickly kind of a few things that I've learned from when I made the first ones, and try to make it a little bit easier and um, faster to make them. So let me show you what the first ones look like here. Okay, so these are the first ones I made, and what you have to do is heat these here and fold them up. And I tried a lot of different ways. I tried cutting a wedge in here and moving them, and they just don't look good. But the reason you have to do that, if you haven't used these here, is you've got your water line coming in here, and that water will shoot up and run back out. So you have to have a lip here. So the easiest thing that I found to prevent that was just moving this hole back where the water shoots in. So my new ones here, I've got the hole, instead of going in up towards the front, they go in right back here past the first one, and you can see that it still provides water back to that first one, and yet you don't have to have near as big of a lip on here. So, and these are a lot easier to form and make look, they look prettier. So that's the objective of this here. Now, the one downside I can see with this is when these get bigger, getting to the hose, they're back here underneath the plant, so it's not as easy as it is with these here, but you still get the leaves that come over that hose. So I don't know if that's going to be any issue at all, but it works so much better this other way. So that's the way I'm going to make these here, and I'll show you how I form these and how I form the other ends here. Okay, so first ones I'm doing is like on the drain end that goes into the gutter, and you can just use any kind of, this is like 3/4 hex tubing. You can use anything to just make a mold in the end, and what that does, it helps the water accumulate to one point and run out into the trough instead of trying to follow the trough back up the line. So these just heat up a little bit here on the end. Pretty simple. You just kind of test it and see when it's ready. They don't take a whole lot of heat. Drop the heat gun. Not good. Okay, so that's really all you have to do. And that forms that trough. I'll take you around here and show you what that. Okay, so that's what you're trying to accomplish with this here. So that feeds the water to the center and lets it run out. Otherwise, it wants to pool and run back up the line, up the trough. So, all right, now the other end takes a little bit more. Let me show you that. Okay, so on the front end, these take a little more heating, a little more forming, and what I do is I just heat it up and then just use my hands with gloves on and form it. So you just want to kind of heat the sides so those kind of tuck in, and the bottom you try to form it where it goes flat. But all you really need is just enough to keep the water from running up to it. And these here I've got to drill the holes yet for the feed lines. And I've got to get these done today because I've got more seedlings ready to go in, to be transplanted. You can see how that is getting soft there and molding. And you just have to kind of feel it. And sometimes you have to do them twice to get it moved up and formed, and then maybe heated again. So just kind of pushing that up. And it's hard to see that, isn't it? But they cool off pretty quickly and set up. So like that's already pretty much set. Now that one doesn't look as good as what I would like. You can see that. So I'm going to heat it again. So like this one corner here, it's kind of pushed down. So I'll heat that up right here and manipulate that around a little bit more. But it would work the way it is. It would just looks a little better. And this goes fairly fast once you start getting into them and do a few. And of course this one's taking much longer since I'm filming it. But you kind of get the idea here. This is the main thing to get where the water won't run out the end here. Yeah. Okay, well it's not my best looking one. I don't want to spend too much time on it trying to get it just perfect. So main thing is to get it where the water won't run back up. And you can still look down the line to check your water to make sure it's going in. Whereas the other ones I had to pinch up so tight that you couldn't really look in there. And then also for cleaning them, once your lettuce is you've harvested out of it, I take these out. No, I thought I stopped that. Okay, so I've got all these here to do here yet, and drill the holes in them for the lines. But this is kind of what they more should look like here. See, it's just got to have enough rise up here and where the water won't come out the corners, and that keeps the water from running back out there. So that's the idea. And another thing is, I've seen this on one other channel that I follow. I can't remember where, but there was an extra line that they had run, and because normally these here, when you're taking these off, you can just that's why you have two holes. Sometimes you'll have an extra hose, but if you're taking this, like if you're going to take this trough out to harvest, you pull this line out and stick it in the next one, which works fine. You lose a little water going back and forth, but that's going to happen whatever you do. This line here, I can pull them out of the trough, stick them in this line, and that just runs over and just goes into my drain line that returns to the tank. The only issue I've had, this is 1-inch line, and it's not big enough. I can only put like 4 of these leader hoses into there, and then it fills it up. So I'm either going to change that or not do. I'll probably put like an 1.5-inch line in there, And then I want to do the same thing on this side and add that, because it's more convenient. But that's not a top priority right now. That's just one of the things I've learned on making these, and they work great. I've got some lettuce back here that's gotten way too big. Those there. But we'll be going to the farmer's market here in 2 weeks. So some of this will be ready. And then taking microgreens and going back in the grocery stores here next month here too. So, alright, well, I appreciate you watching, and leave any comments and subscribe if you like, and we'll see you next time.